I'm back off their way like new jewelers. Jewelers are carpenters and carvers, varnish finish. So you know the shine won't diminish. While rappers spending G's on gold that could be for fools. My chest glisten like the sun off pools. From my jewels, argon energy, pendant protection jewels. Enhance my life with spiritual tools. Opening chakras with crystals wrapped in copper. Using the force of quartz, put brakes on a copper. Microcrystalline jade, metamorphic rock pieces. Put a shame to diamond crusted Jesus headpieces. Obsidian and opal, leopard skin, jasper on a string. Tiger eye, green tourmaline ring. It looks like the star's essence when I blink. Change negative to positive like colors on the mood ring. No gold, a whole black beads, no ice. I'm looking like Africa, Bam, X-Clan, and Just Ice. Rapid varnish pendant, Moorish monk chest, filled with crystal stones, Merlin treasure chest, clearing my aura as I come before you. Rappers see me with no eyes and think I'm a pauper. Rob a rapper of his Gucci Lincoln pendant self-portrait. Pawn souls to the devil cause they made themselves corporate. New jewelry gets attention like passing next morning. Keep new jewelry as wood, no matter what you call it.
Young offender on the grid. I've been doing a bit since a little kid. Then it was the adult side. I lose my respect if I let it slide. Then it slid. I kept my flow hid, and the words don't skid. With respect to the house, here's a piece on me. If you wanna leave calmly, while they're busy smoking, I'm easy roping with the hot blonde wide open. It jaws, wasn't joking. Pop your lids unless you really wanna live. Stop the fibs with one less ribs. Engineering anonymous. Is it preposterous? They could doctor us. Is it ancient chemist or is it just genetic? All I get is aesthetics. 2 million years of history, just forget it. If you let it, don't you dare ruin your credit as I stare at your social club pinky swear. A supreme being intervened. It was something green. I didn't know how to adjust the screen. Second look, it was just as clean. Dust a fiend with some muscle cream. Let her know this is not a dream. My flow is the stream to the most pristine. You never seen this like me.
The rhyme pattern and design so intricate. You'll never see the sign, so here's a kick. But don't F around with mine or the syndicate. You straight stay in line or the stink again. Like you on a landmine in a sinking pit. It's not just your music, only stink like shit. We see right through you phony, you counterfeit. Pass a piece of Frano, wanna roll a split. Where I'm from in Toronto, all we know is flip. Firm grip, on the grip, gotta hold his hip. All they know is download and loading clips. I just rep the G code, we ain't new to this. Don't let me get in beast mode, metamorphosis. Yo, we got the street zone, no forcefulness. And all the ether zone, call me Morpheus. Find our way home, more free us. No scissors and comb, nagas need us. Blood and bone, muscle tissue, form fetus. And we never on our own, Allah feeds us.
I keep it roping, I'm eloping. Well spoken, here's a token. Genuine, no joking. And if I pause, my mind is in motion. Who's up next for the smoking while I'm bearing arms and steady toting a brain load of weaponry, ready to expose it. The stories of all lies, I got the man secure to hostess. Many wanna boast it and run game and then revoke it. You better off dead. The majority is voted. I post playing, giving you a dosage. The punchline is potent, knocking niggas out like a close fist. Coming from the rats and the roaches. Many want to say they the one who came the closest to royalty and fame, and as the president approaches, acknowledge what my name is and claim an island off the coast. Yes, my chronology is most best. Floating like a lotus, I'm heavy in the streets. Take notice, I've arrived. There's the chance for me to blow this.
Everybody pushing a screw face, won't stop street life, always facing a new case. Hates baseball, wears caps for Blue Jays fitted. No brown, we don't need a green to get lifted. A society of multicultures, feeding off the black dead carcass like vultures. While they feed blacks, say you insult us daily, but make drug mules of their hood babies. When I was in school, we used to see vagrants. They still bums today asking for change payments. Sisters turning to mothers younger. Youth are do programs for starving or hunger. Roaches run on their face while they sleep. In beds with bugs infesting the mattress and sheets. Many little brothers resting in peace, cause they followed their big brothers that ran these streets. Drug dealers calling themselves doctors and shrinks. To stop breast cancer, wear a shirt that's pink. To stop youth violence, get rid of the guns I see. Youth need to be taught about true Ali. That would lower the crime stats. Youth have no jobs, so here's a free CD of my tracks. Bag ladies and buggy pushing men. Drink Lysol with their drug addict friends. Pimps pushing new kicks in little sis face. But she's too scared to say that she got raped. And he got raped too, wanting to be a singer. Mayors and judges drinking their bloodage for dinner. Upstairs, I cover my ears in tears. Little bro beating his mom, he's under 20 years. Every day of his life, these streets are trife. Started selling, now he smokes the Snow White. Blind man plays the sax. Girl run over playing with blackberries on train tracks. Can't trust everybody you know, that's how it is. In the streets up to yo. Baby needs new shoes, but daddy got the newest when he chills with his crew. A young girl is undressed in the back like slave cargo, praying for help from Harpo. NTO, my boy Lex laid inside his apartment. Gumma died of sickle cell, my heart didn't harden. Blew out of an aneurysm. Philly just got shot up by two of his own brethren. NTO, it's a grisly scene. 5-day search, Philly found dead in a ravine. Dead and injured because they shot up a jam. Police chief implemented King Alfred plan. People think it's jokes, but when the smoke clears, you're spilling your beans, handcuffed to a chair. DT's yelling and spitting in your face. Give names, or you won't beat your case. Palms sweating, goosebumps and shakes. It is a snitch, but still, you're gonna get shot in the face. NTO.
At the lamppost, enlightened, hoping I land close to some love so I can spread it on every damn coast. Meanwhile, I'm on the side where many men boast. Shit's rough when you got cuffs, keeping your hands close. Lampposts like streets where warriors fight beasts. Running through the six, I hope you wearing the right cleats. Keep a screw face, you might just die over white teeth. F-cops, I hope the killer's smoking the right cheap. For survival, shit could get savage and primal. Something in the water killing us on arrival. Put that on the Bible. Put that on the spiritual and tribal. Give thanks for a new day. Look over the city, the view of a blue jay. My nephew might call me over a new J. Represent the city no matter what you say. Keep it true, Faye, from T.O. to the UK.
Read the future through the stars, or Tarot of Moors. Cut you with the scimitar or shadow sword. Then in Callaway, our names are Moors of Europe. Black and Indian, say lion, and selling you hope. Read the future through the stars, or Tarot of Moors. Cut you with the scimitar or shadow sword. Then in Callaway, our names are Moors of Europe. Black and Indian, say lion, and selling you hope. Dirty Moors tell you MST of A is religious. Replace Jesus with Drew Ali singing hymns like Christians. Emmanuel I said be a human rights reader, but Ross play games in Moorish Jalabias. Nuwapians know the dog gave him circle 7 lessons and call him a nation of Moors in 360 questions. Hebrew Israelites are Moorish, Zionist Jews, but has the mothers in the back of tabernacle rooms. Praying to the patriarch when Ark is the womb. Reincarnated Drew Ali written on given soon. Drew Ali reincarnated is also Fard Muhammad, claiming the prophet, but he's all about profit. $sign odds, 10 grand for a package. King of the Moors smearing feces, that's so savage. They're not against me, but against Drew Ali. We're not adjective like black collar or Somali. Jumping over Negro and say more means blacks as nigga leaders with scholarship off track. Read the future through the stars, or Tarot of Moors. Cut you with the scimitar or shadow sword. Then in Callaway, our names are Moors of Europe. Black and Indians say lying and selling you hope. Dirty Moors tell you MST of A is religious. Replace Jesus with Drew Ali singing hymns like Christians. Emmanuel I said be a human rights reader, but Ross play games in Moorish Jalabiyas. You Wapians know the dark gave him circle 7 lessons and call him a nation of Moors in 360 questions. Hebrew Israelites are Moorish, Zionist Jews, but has the mothers in the back of tabernacle rooms. Praying to the patriarch when Ark is the womb. Reincarnated Drew Ali written on given tomb. Drew Ali reincarnated is also Fard Muhammad, claiming the prophet, but he's all about profit. Dollar sign odds, 10 grand for a package. King of the Moor smearing feces, that's so savage. They're not against me, but against Drew Ali. We're not adjective like black collar or Somali. Jumping over Negro and say more means blacks as nigga leaders with scholarship off track. Should face a firing squad with lies like that. BLM leaders, mansions, every state on the map. No guilt or remorse. They face on billboards, but police victims in courts as a status quo wards. Mothers mourning, hiring civil rights attorneys. Most of them are not worthy and job turkeys. Make you march and picket. No one sees you like midgets, no matter how hard you fidget. Choked out for 10 minutes. Been dead for 7 on your highway to heaven. They get off with the wrist slap, but not charged like a felon. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see.
That's those black
You're blind,
glasses right
baby.
there, them
Your mind is so
eyeglasses, yeah.
black.
You said meet them where they're at? Been there, done that. Sounds like you want me going back to being black. Dead carcass, a dead status, same difference. All in experience. Blacks getting shot up, but Moors make them shut up. Double cup, that's protection. Every man to a nation. Negotiate for what? When you have the Constitution. Am I a Negro or what? You need permission, not prohibitive, privilege. Like you're somebody's kid, I guess that's the way we live. Nah, free national standards. I'm nobody's bastard. Land, air, water. That spells law, but you're blind, baby. I told you, you're blind, baby. Message for the freaking lady. Don't shoot my birdie, more science and facts. Fiction is the movie. Look at the way you act. If you don't believe me, then study. Then you will know, and you will grow. You will know, and you will grow. Blind, baby.
You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. You're blind from the facts. You can't see what I can see. You're blind, baby. Your mind is so black.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law makes civil little a lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mixing with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, prepping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we.
Common sense was made before book sense. Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quick.
Legendary, bury me in the North Gates Cemetery, February the 4th days. Son of Mary, day ahead of my born day. Independence and law make civil literal lost case. With case laws, we break them down like Jericho. Keeping all my lions tamed, I'm Chris Jericho. Or keep a mask on deck, I'm Rey Mysterio. Fake pandemics announced over the radio. Annoyed with the game, the joys and the pains. I'm Rob Bass, mix it with rock the hard way. I was in a lost state. Prophets stood me up right, brought me to a lost gate. Cooking like I'm Sorbet, rapping like I'm Denzel. Malcolm X, Deja Vu, Roman J. Israel. Had no but I lay in plain sight, but people still can't see it. So the snake's still showing up, stakes still high, so the race still going up. Warriors of the North Gate, we not slowing up. Born in the manger, sworn to be savior. Walk through the valley of the shadows of the death, different slavery. Looking for life, the book of Genesis. Astral plane entrances, invoke the nemesis. Abstract images of past lives kicking in. Danger, running for your life, finish him.
Moorish Omar, key man or oracle, using Trinity powers, decipher allegorical, lost and metaphorical, holy books are metaphysic, fact slap a dirty more or a Drew Ali critic, calling him Thomas or Walter and get your face caved, or cut like a close shave, drowned in my brain waves, squashed by heat waves, activating Kundalini, Abyssinia invaded by Mussolini, Selassie I in exile, reptile in Genesis, niggas appearing real, all I see is false evidence, DA are feminists, stomped on by elephants, won't let go prejudice but want Moorish benefits, when you feel the cold magnetic resonance, apis horns of the sacred book all maleficent, great cosmic mothers, return to blessedness, no pestilence, ace all the testaments, tap into remembrance, never to forget again, use energy right, not put spell effects on men, wandering the earth plane with no they live shades, keeps you a mental slave as the horizon fades, it's been decades since Christian crusades, not enough rebellions, too many vigil bouquets, holding on to the fence, burning on doomsday, war ruled by Mars, it might be on a Tuesday.
Canaanland Moors presents Common Sense Quickie. What we do here is we add some common sense thinking to everyday situations or comments that may arise. Want to give it a try?
Bet they won't. Bet you they won't. Give it a try. Moors who been studying. Moors who been studying are going to remember the civil orders, July 4th, 2014. Right? Issued to all members of a domestic police force and the marshals and the provost marshals and the bar association and the Pope's writing letters to Obama and all that stuff, telling him stuff, and his secretary and all this is the one who's initiating this, because it's time. It's time for the corruption to stop and all the BS. Played all you people. All y'all. Played all y'all. Because how come you didn't do enough research? Let's just check the official documents. Right? People who are new, sorry. You're just gonna have to sit there and take this one in because you don't know what we're talking about. So the civil orders came out, right? Anna Maria Wilhelmina, Hannah Sophia, and all that. Private attorney of the Pope. Private attorney of the Pope? Let's just see what she has to say. For all the new people who never heard about this before. Let's see what the private attorney of the Pope had to say. Right? Letter from Pope Francis to Obama. Issued to all members of Domestic Police Force, U.S. Marshal Service, Provost Marshal, American Bar Association, American Armed Forces, these organic American states. Hold on a second. These organic American states. Hold on a second. So, if this is if this is unified main common law grand jury writing some stuff, how their stuff turn into letter from Pope Francis telling Obama something about something? Because, you see, when you're studying for real, most times ancestors give you free ones. Ancestors give you free ones. Sometimes the ancestors just hook you up. Just hook you up. I thought this is a letter from Pope Francis to Obama. Let's just see. Civil orders and all this stuff. You're saying civil orders. Then Anna Maria, private attorney of the Pope and all this stuff. Then you have to ask a question. It's interesting that you keep getting played. Because you don't want to do a Noble Drew Ali said. You want to do your own thing. You think you know something. So let's go to part 12. Part 12 of you know something is wrong when. Oh, what's that there? By Anna Maria Riza Zaza? No holiness of the Pope stuff and all that stuff. How come no holiness of the Pope stuff? If you're a Pope's attorney, then you're going to be saying you're Pope's attorney all the way. You're only Pope's attorney for some main grand jury BS. When we know all these people, these are the sovereign citizens right here. These are the ones. These are the fake sovereigns. The modern Europeans over here who are exercising Second Amendment and every other amendment and enforcing Constitution, and they don't have any issues. Zero issues. The fake sovereigns who don't want to go back to Europe since they found out that U.S. is some BS. You find out that U.S. is BS, it's a corporation, all that stuff. Okay, so why are you still here? Shouldn't you go back home? Why are you here? If you're here, you better be doing something with the Moors or something like that, because if you're not doing nothing, then you pretty much owe taxes. Honors to all the other ipso jure Moorish subjects who've been paying their taxes. Honors to all you modern Europeans in America who've been paying your taxes to the Moors. Oh, speaking about paying your taxes to the Moors, let's just give you this one.
I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims.
Blow the horn, blow the horn.
I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there.
Right, so honors to Arun Miller. Arun, good job there, European. You earned your stripes. You even said you're not Moorish. So, you said it. So the fact that you're not Moorish and you could rep for Noble Drew Ali, honors to you. You paid your taxes. You get a pass. Because I'm pretty sure you already been doing good and all that stuff. So, just keep learning to love instead of hate. Because there it is right there. Non-Moorish telling you Drew Ali's the man. You need more than that? But no. You're not going to look at the Moors are doing something right. You're going to say the Moors are domestic terrorists. And the Moors, they can't bear arms because the Moors bear arms. That means they're sovereign citizens. No. The sovereign citizens are Anna Maria and all of them who you've been following their stuff, posing as their Pope secretaries and all that stuff, when that's a fraud. And they've been frauding you out. And here's their affidavit of probable cause and all that stuff. Right? There's their whole stuff that they put out, telling you the same stuff that the Moors been telling you for the past 30, 40 years or whatever like that, about this fraud, United States and all that, Federal Reserve and all that stuff. Civil rights is BS and all of that. Give you the full goods. Told you about everything. Right? Some sovereign citizen, modern Europeans who want to give honors to the Moors. Right? They want to give honors to the Moors. Right? They have all their BS in there. Before they were talking about they were attorneys of the Pope and all that. Apparently that's fraud. Obviously that's fraud. Obviously. So why are you following these frauds? These are the sovereign citizens. The sovereign citizens are the modern Europeans who are in America that didn't pay their taxes to the Moors. That's who the sovereign citizens are. All Europeans who paid their taxes to the Moors, honors to you for paying your taxes. Whether it's, helping out at the cookout. Whether it's donating some finance. Whether it's mentioning Noble Drew Ali's name to somebody. Honors to you for paying your taxes to the Moors. Oh yeah, let's get these taxes out the way again one more time for the late people. We're going to be playing this all day, just so you know now. So if you're bored already, FOH, if you're bored. This is all we're doing all day. Playing this, brother, all day.
I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there.
How come you didn't say Mohammedans? Huh? How come you didn't say Muslims? Moorish American Muslims. Why didn't he say that? Why did he say science and not religion? How come he said science? What do you mean he's not part of that science? What does he mean by that? What is he really saying? Because remember, he's not Moorish according to him. He's not Moorish according to him. And he's telling you, Noble Drew Ali, that's good. Why he didn't say Mohammedan? Now you say Moorish. Why didn't you say M-U-U-R? How come you didn't say that? How come he said Noble Drew Ali? How come he didn't bring up Elijah? He didn't bring up Garvey? He didn't bring up anybody else? Only like think about how deep in the rabbit hole this video is on YouTube for a Moor to find this. Think about that. Think about all the videos that are on YouTube right now. And a Moor found a 15-second video uploaded January 30th, 2022. That this non-Moorish is giving honors to Noble Drew Ali. He's giving honors to the Moors. He's letting you know that Moors are Muslims, not Muslim, not Mohammedan, not Berber, none of that. They're Moors. This is, and Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the man. Everything Moor's been telling our people for the past 100 years. Everything. Well, you're not going to hear what Moors are saying, though. You're going to listen to the sovereign citizens, the real sovereign citizens. And we're talking about all of them. You know, the Robert Menards, the Strouts, the David Wynn Millers, the Truth Language, whoever's, all these modern Europeans in America who never gave honors to the Moors. They always tried to play the Moors. Right, go on Canaanland Moors. Put in Canaanland Moors Robert Menard. See what comes up. We've been sat down with these people. They're not trying to hear the Moors. They're just trying to not go back to Europe. They, you know, this is the land of milk and honey. Like, why would they want to leave? I wouldn't want to leave if I was them either. But if you're going to be here, you need to pay your taxes. Just go read the George Washington letter, which is not really a fraud like these people saying that they're the Pope writing letters to Obama and all that stuff. The fraud isn't. George Washington and the Sultan relationship is an actual, real historical thing. You should go read the letter that George Washington wrote, especially all you Europeans who claim that you're United Statesians and all that stuff. No problem. No problem. Do your thing. No problem. Right? Do your thing. But know that you got to pay your taxes. Oh, and speaking about do your thing, we're not talking about do your thing. Let me say do your thing. We're not talking about what is 58A statute do your thing. We're not talking about that do your thing. Because the modern Europeans got a little, you're getting a little, jumpy with the sovereignty, the little bit of sovereignty that you got from the Moors. Because you're really supposed to be 13 colonies. You're not supposed to be in the mainland. You're not really supposed to be in the mainland because all those dummy treaties that you did with the Indians are void. So you're really supposed to just go back to Europe or pay your taxes. However you got to do that. I don't know. It's too late to try to count as far as the dollar amount. Start paying your taxes. Start paying your debts to the Moors. Start paying your debts to the Moors. Don't play around with your sovereigns, writing letters to your friends and all that stuff because you don't want to go back home or pay your taxes. It's one or the other. Just go read the letter. If people are apologizing for not paying the taxes and you still haven't paid the taxes, then you kind of owe a debt. But then, why would they pay? Because half these people, they don't know who Noble Drew Ali is. They don't even care about their nationality and their birthrights. They don't even care. So colonists has the upper hand. Simple, it's numbers. I mean, we are the minority in numbers. Because even though we have more people, 90% of our people are dumbass. And then the other 10%, 5% of those are sellouts. So, it's slim pickings. But water bust through granite and make a mountain fall over. So, you know, they can play their games all they want. But, you know, the ticking time bomb is the judgments that's going to happen for people not doing what they're supposed to do. Remember, this is all about obligations. Right? So if you really want the news of what's going on with the whole Moorish militia situation, don't go on YouTube and listen to all these idiots giving their measly opinions. Go to riseovermass.news. Go there. Riseovermass.news. So you can see without a shadow of a doubt that they either need to go back to the 13 colonies, right? Go back to Europe, or start paying your taxes. The only way the BS is going to stop. Those are the options. Because you can't keep giving all the energy to the fraud, and then you're going to be writing 92 and 95 article affidavits that you're sending to these people who are claiming to be the government or whatever like that, when all you gotta do is pay your taxes. You already have your big house and all that stuff. Your Pope, if you're the Pope's whoever, how much stuff you owe to Moors if you're the Pope's secretary? The Pope's secretary lady? If you're the Pope's secretary and the Pope owes the Moors, because all the land that they got for their Vatican and stuff like that is the Moors' land grants, how they got those. Non-negotiable autograph of Anna Maria Reisinger, a living female, an inhabitant of the land jurisdiction of the Alaska state, and a birthright entitlement holder of the Wisconsin state, acting in the flesh without the federal United States and with all rights reserved. Where do you think they get that from? Where do you think they got that from? Right? They played you. They made you look over there at some pope, whatever, thinking that that's what's going on, when in the background, they're setting up their self to be their jurisdiction in your land. And then you're debating Moors. Go, well, why we're not Moors and all this crap. Right? You know, I mean, they told on you, and they weren't hiding and stuff like that. You know, they told you. What can you do with this book? You can change the world. Give copies to bureaucrats, local, state, and federal. Remind them who they really work for. Right? And the local, state, and federal bureaucrats, whoever, are a fraud. They're not the government. So they don't work for you. They're criminals. That's just what it is. That's what's been set up. Are you going to peep game and realize what's up and, you know, move accordingly, or are you going to keep playing around? Gave out their Gmail and everything. These are no Pope secretary. These are modern Europeans in Maine who realize that the stuff is up. Of course, they got their little part in the book about you, the big dummy. Of course, they got their part in the book about you. Right? Black Americans were really were never really freed after the Civil War. They were given a new, specially created citizenship, U.S. citizenship, and civil rights granted by the Congress, not the natural and unalienable rights guaranteed to American state citizens. Right? You already know that's a fraud. American state citizens, because America's a continent, and they know continent citizens. That's a fiction. No such thing as a continent citizen. That doesn't exist. There's no African citizens. That doesn't exist. Yeah. We already know black Americans is a fiction, but they know who they're talking to. Talking to the big dummies who don't know themselves. American state citizens have unalienable rights. Only indigenous people have those. Some other people have human rights or whatever like that. Well, human rights and indigenous rights are two different rights. Human rights only get you so far. The United States Incorporated laid claim to them and their estates as unclaimed chattel and hypothecated U.S. government debt against their labor and possessions in the international jurisdiction of the sea. These modern Europeans telling you the same stuff that Moore's been telling you. Except, international jurisdiction of the sea is really wardship status. They're playing games with you. They're playing admiralty games. You play admiralty games with the Moors. You play admiralty games with the Moors. The maritime games. Jurisdiction of seas and all this. Having the jurisdiction of sea. As soon as you go out there, it's going to swallow you. You better know what you're doing. Right? Only way that you could be in the sea is with a vessel. Other than that, you're done for. To stop the dumb stuff. Inalienable, unalienable rights are indigenous people's rights. Natural rights are human rights. Everybody has those. Indigenous people have special rights. They're the first people. And you have to acknowledge the first people. You can't deny the first people. As soon as you deny the first people, that lets us know, oh, you're a colonist. Okay. We get why you're going to make up some stuff. We get why you're going to make up a statute and say that supersedes the Constitution. How? How does a statute have more constitutional authority than the Constitution? And you're not seeing that as corrupt. We're not worried about the people doing the corruption. We already know that they're going to be corrupt. We're not concerned about them. We already know how they do. They've been showing how they do. They've been showing it. But when is the realization going to happen from the people? That they see them. More's not just flapping our gums because, there's some conscious get popular on IG thing or whatever like that. That's not what this is. This is for the few. Drew Ali said, few faithful Moors. FEW. This is for the few who are on the high road. Right, like they ask in the riseovermass.news. Where did the Moorish militia's Second Amendment rights go when armed state officers aimed their weapons with intent to shoot the Moors? that in the heat of the battle, the opposing side's supposed to have their arms up too. If it's about rights like that. But why wasn't that the case? Because the people were no threat. So why do these other people have their arms up if these people are no threat? And unless you were there, you really don't know if they got their hands up. They could have just been chilling in the back, sitting back there, just chilling, eating donuts and stuff, just doing nothing. Yeah, just go out there, let the news do their job or whatever like that, make this stuff look good. Because we know everybody's going to be watching because they're a dumbass. And we could tell them anything. Just don't fire the first shot. Just don't fire the first shot. Let them fire first for whatever reason. Then we have a reason. Well, if they're not a threat, why would they fire? And if they didn't fire, and highwayman just around them chilling or whatever like that, obviously they're no threat. And if they're no threat, obviously something's wrong here with something. There's something that's not adding up right now. At this point, we'll give you some time because, COVID, whatever like that, all right, fine. You know what I mean? You weren't thinking during COVID, fine. Okay, well, stuff's over now. They're lifting all the mandates and all that stuff, right? So, since stuff's over, let's get back on point. How are these people who did nothing still in prison? How are these people who were no threat? How are these people who presented no threat, don't have any type of history of violence or whatever like that? You're not pulling them up and there's some rap sheet, 500 pages or nothing like that. How's stuff going on so long still? Don't think something's weird? Something's not registering that something's wrong, even for the people who are who in the beginning were talking crazy against the Moorish militia and all that. Okay, at this point now, come on now. You tell me these people haven't had trial yet? You tell me this stuff's not done yet? This stuff's still dragging on? And they have to do it from behind there. They're not even saying 80 million bail and let them go. Like, where are they going? There's COVID, right? So they can't go anywhere. So what's really going on here? Right? Know for sure that part of them going so hard is because Moors having their own army is going to be a problem for them. And like they say, nip it in the bud. And it's done for. Right? Even if they're looking at it like that, it should have probably been 30 days that they're in there. Tops. 30 days. Okay, fine. You're playing hearing because of the violent or whatever like that. Okay, fine. 60 days. Tops. 60 days tops. Right? Should have got bail. Should have been home. But it's for something else. It's because this has nothing to do with the law. This has to do with, this is how far these criminals are willing to go. That they're going to make up a statute. They're going to make up a statute in order to misuse the law and charge people for exercising rights. That you can't exercise this right because of this statute. And then statute's not law. That's fiction. And again, it's all about the slave master mindset for them. That they're going to make an example of the slave that wants to get off the plantation. So nobody thinks to try to get off. Because if Jimbo got that for just crossing the street right there where the slave master said don't cross, then nobody's going. Right? So they have their teeth in pretty good in our people. It's not like they're, it's lockjaw. It's not letting go without a crowbar or some bats to the head or something like that. They're not letting go. Right? They have it in for our people. And because they have it in for our people, then Moors, of course, are going to be getting their coattails burned too. Right? Some more than others. Because when you're standing up for this truth of us being Moors, know that people are against this, that are in high places. Know that people are against this. They have an agenda for our people not to realize what the Moorish paradigm is about. Keep them lost. Right? Keep them lost. Remember we think because we're out here, we're not in prison. We think we're not in jail because we're out here. You could grow some food or something. Right? And this is not that panic stuff like the Grand Army people and the Illuminati and all that stuff. That Jolly told you the electrifying age is going to come. And the electrifying age was the age of technology. Jolly is the man. And the incarcerations are still mass, and it's including Moors now. It used to just be, nigger stuff. Political prisoners is a thing here now in the Americas. It's a thing. If they can't murder you, you're going inside if you're a leader, if you're influential, if you're quote unquote a threat. And then once they feel that little quote unquote threat, they're all in. And again, you could just be going camping. You just be going camping, stopped on the highway to put gas in, and you're still locked up. You don't think something's weird? You don't think something's off with that? You're still playing like people are doing something wrong or did something wrong because they want to exercise their Second Amendment? But then saying nothing to these Europeans? No videos about the European militias or nothing like that. The European militias, the real sovereign citizens, right? The real sovereign citizens
KKK with guns is domestic terrorists. Nazis with guns is domestic terrorists. They're not going to talk about them, make whole sets of videos about them. Their own brothers, they're going to make videos talking about Moors are domestic terrorists. As if they didn't learn from the hip-hop that these people are going to use what's online to incriminate people. You know they're going to do that. You already know they're going to do that. So the people who are causing confusion, right? There's court, there's serious matter. People could be getting, you know what I mean, years and all this type of stuff. And people are going into the court thing to yell dumb shit. And have a Moorish name on there. And then people's family who haven't heard, you know, their incarcerated family member, loved one, whatever, they haven't heard their voice in almost a year. People going in there and messing the thing up. Just because they're not going in anybody else's court sessions online and doing that. How come the Moors one, they're doing that? Right? And then they're not going to talk about the fact that the reason why the stuff got shut down is because of these same badge carrying, red and blue light flashing Moorish consulate Moors, which includes House of Ram people, which includes Mahdi people. They're not going to talk about it's because of them being on there is why nobody could have any input or hear anything. Everybody getting kicked out. Why? Cause confusion. This has nothing to do with Moorish militia. This all has to do with the criminal activity of the state of Massachusetts on a regular basis. This is not the only situation. But nobody wants to go there because, you know, start talking about their stuff and now, you know. Anybody telling you, well, those Moors shouldn't have, they're a sellout. Because did nothing wrong, zero. No wrong was done. So they're a scapegoat for a bigger thing. The bigger thing is to get you away. Get you away from your nationality of a Moor. And they're going to use them as the example just to get you to say, you know what, I'm going to go study this stuff over here instead of the Moor stuff because, you know, they kidnap Moors. And if I'm a Moor, then I'm going to get kidnapped and all this crazy stuff. They want to get you away from recognizing your nationality and your birthrights, recognizing your prophet. Oh yeah, and for the late people. For the late people.
I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there.
It's good right there. That's good. And so the new sovereign citizen scare tactic they got you on now. The new sovereign citizen scare tactic. UN Directive 001. The start of the new world order. Now, if Bill Cooper and Jordan Maxwell and all these Europeans been talking about New World Order forever. What start of are they talking about? What do you mean start of the New World Order? You're trying to get the dummies who you already killed all the information, so they're not even going to be able to find the stuff to prove that your stuff is some BS. Right? In accordance with the approval of the majority of the United Nations members, right? Remember, this is a United Nations stuff. Ain't no United Nations anything on it. You know, just some letters on some stuff. Right? Now, remember, we told you about the fraud of these sovereign citizens playing games. Well, this UN directives, whatever, isn't some UN stuff. This UN stuff is Anna von Reyes, same Pope's secretary lady. So how she Pope's secretary? She's Pope's secretary? And she's United Nations? We're playing you. Have you child chasing rabbit holes and it snakes in there? You don't even know what kind of hole you're in. But you're chasing rabbits though. Neo that chased the white rabbit. The whole thing is a fraud. All these Europeans that's been playing games with this sovereign stuff and filing affidavits and all the BS like that, those are the sovereign citizens. Moors aren't those. And the sovereign citizens are the ones who realize that there's no government and all that stuff, and it's tyranny and all that stuff going on right now. It's martial law, it's all the stuff that their own European were telling them that this stuff's gonna happen. Right? But they also know that they don't want to be the scapegoat, so they're gonna put it on somebody else. By having them call themselves a name that's not theirs. So that all the inheritance goes to them, and whatever scraps left over, that's what the heirs get. Because the heirs didn't know themselves. But guess what happened? Raleigh came and solved all of it. He even solved all of it. Put everything on the record so no one could say they don't know. freed the people without even lifting arms. And keep in mind, Drew Ali had tanks and all that stuff, so, you know, don't get it messed up. As if Drew Ali wasn't Second Amendment repping. The Moors have an armory for. Why is there an armory? Again, we should let you know why they killed Noble Drew Ali. The Moors have an armory, and they have people in office, in United States stuff office in there. Moors have people in there? No way. Get this man out the way immediately. Get him out the way immediately. Because we can't have what he wants to do happen. Because what would that mean? That would mean that they either have to pay their taxes or they have to go back home to where they came from. Or you can go back to the 13 colonies. But everything that you got in the mainland, staying in the mainland. You know, go back to the 13 colonies and figure it out. Because you should already have the stuff figured out. Right. If Drew Ali's going to say he's a general, then why would there not be arms and stuff? If Drew Ali says he's a prophet, why wouldn't there be arms? What you mean? You think pray to Allah and that's how we're going to get the false prophets and the demons and whatever out here? Pray? We're not going to bring out our flaming balls of fire from all the alchemy we've been practicing or nothing like that? We're not going to be Avengers? We're going to be Peter Parker and Clark Kent? That's what you want? That's what you want. You just want to be Peter Parker and Clark Kent. And you want to get angry ever. When you're angry, you turn green and F everybody up. You don't want to do that. You don't want that. You want to be Bruce. Right? It's time, David. It's time. Oh, sorry, Dawood. Dawood, it's time. It's time. Slay the mighty Goliath. Stop playing games. Oh yeah, for the late people, if you didn't hear the news.
I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali. It's good right there.
Oh no, we didn't go over the Pope letter because we realized that it wasn't a letter from the Pope. It was a letter from Anna von Reizenhammer, Riger Lady. Has nothing to do with the Pope. Has nothing to do with Obama. Nothing to do with them. Just some modern Europeans writing affidavits, calling themselves Pope Secretary. So all that's why Rise of the Moors is kidnapped right now. Because obviously that Pope letter was BS. No. And the thing that gave it away initially was the civil orders one. Because the civil orders one, with the civil orders on, right? They played it with the seal on it. You notice what? Oh, you didn't see what? Okay, you didn't see what they're doing on this, right? Right. It's Moors sanctioning this BS from some unified Maine common law grand jury BS. It was marshals that came and kidnapped Yanga Bay. It was marshals. It was the U.S. Marshals did that. How'd they do that if civil order since 2014 said that they're supposed to be disbanded and all that? How they still around? Or did somebody lie? Somebody lie? How come the Grand Army didn't come and kidnap these marshals and whatever yet? Right? Private attorney in service of His Holiness Pope Francis. This are modern Europeans that wrote this. They no Pope anything, no Obama anything, nothing. So it's a good novel. It's a good novel. It was convincing. I read it. Cover to cover. It's a real good novel. Let's deal with reality. All these people who are writing all this stuff, right? Anna and whoever else, they're modern Europeans. How they get in the mainland? What are you doing all the way out here? Oh, the treaties with the Indians. Oh, well, those Indians weren't the Indians, right? You know that's a fraud. So everything has to revert back to before you did those treaties. Because those treaties are a fiction. You're not supposed to be doing treaties with Indians. Why are you doing treaties with them? Talking about for land and all that stuff. Why are you doing treaties with Indians? Another violation. Because you know damn well that they weren't the Indians. So even Trump said, they don't look like Indians to me. Why should they not pay taxes and me have to pay them? They're a fraud. They're not. So why am I paying if the people who don't pay are a fraud? Like conceptually, the letter was good for people to get the perspective of what it's supposed to be. But when they talk about Grand Army of the Republic or whatever, that's Moorish militia. Not Grand Army of anything. That's Moorish militia they're talking about. Not the black gun club people. We're not talking about them. The people that they kidnapped right now is the Grand Army. Right? And then they trumped up the whole stuff with the Yanga Bay because they need the female energy in it. You already know how these people do. There's a little seal that they used. Unified Maine Common Law Grand Jury. They wrote a writ to somebody and people are using that as if it's some governmental thing happened. These are modern Europeans. This is not Europe. They don't got jurisdiction to put out civil orders and all that. No fake seal that they. Which Moors? Oh yeah, there's the Moors right there who used the Moorish National Republic seal to say that drill the truth in. Don't worry, it's all good. Right? There's a lot of games going on out here. Watch yourself. Watch yourself. You have to be all wise right now. You have to be all wise right now. Yeah, I know. It was something that, because somebody sent me the new one, the United Nations Directive, whatever. And I'm reading the thing. I'm like, yo, this sounds just like the Pope letter and all that. And then go and check, and it's freaking the same lady, just with a different spin now. Now it's not United Nations, because when it's not the United Nations, this is not the United Nations Directive. Like when I check the directives, right? Because the directives for disciplinary matters involving civilian police. And their directive is making sure all these UN police that are doing any type of criminal activity or behavior or whatever like that in international jurisdictions are held accountable for their BS. Right? 25 pages. UN police. So there is no United Nations Directive 001 starting of a new world order and in January and all that stuff. There's nothing called that. These are the same modern Europeans who brought you this book right here. The same modern Europeans that they just switched up. And then they're just copying from what Moors do. Just like, Ali Muhammad used to be ISIS and then he switched up. Marrakesh used to be Aboriginal law firm and they switched up. They have to use the Moors have to be the ones to give them the keys for them to be able to do the BS that they're doing. And then have Moors using it as if it's some document from the United Nations. No, it's not. It's not from no United Nations. These are some modern Europeans who don't want to go back to Europe or pay their taxes. They want to live lavish off the Moors without paying their debt to the Moors. Like I say, you can't have your cake and eat it too. It was one or the other. I suggest eat it because, just holding cake. What the hell are you holding cake for? What are you holding that for? You holding snacks. You eat that stuff. Right? I'm just telling you, don't get played. It's nuts out here. Right? Because people are really going to be looking at it as, it's like they're looking at it like King Alfred plan or like those letters that were in William Cooper's book, in Behold a Pale Horse, that was on the letterhead of whoever. You know what I mean? It wasn't just some talking. It was on letterhead. It's not a UN letterhead or anything. Because it ain't from the UN. There's no new start of a new world order by the UN. If they do a new world order, they've been started that. They didn't just start that yesterday. The hell you been? You talking about, oh my gosh, it's martial law. It's martial law. What do you mean? It's been, where you been? I don't know where you been. But you're way late. If you really read this thing and you think this is some stuff that they're doing from now till 2025, they got their stuff planning to 3,000 and all that. They got their thing planned. So don't get played. Remember that you have a prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And he brought you everything it takes to save a nation and told you, take it and save yourself. And when you save yourself, uplift fallen humanity. And you have a holy covenant to always look out for your brother and sister because Allah is love. Real simple. Right. You know. Exactly. And can't have your Kate, Kate, and Edith too, is the phrase. Because the knockoff is, the cake. Because dumbass not going to eat cake. Who's not going to eat cake? Honors to all the Moors worldwide. Honors to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Don't forget 7 p.m. tonight. I'm going to be dropping the video. The Leaves Fall video. Moabite Sons. Another one. Another one for the archive. Honors to all the Moors everywhere. Don't forget. RiseOverMass.news. Keep yourself updated with the truth about the situation with the Moorish militia. And don't forget, Arul Miller. Honors to Arul Miller for putting it on the record for the Moors.
I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there. I want to give a loud shout out, Salaam Alaikum, to all the Moorish American Muslims. I am not Moorish or in that science, but the Honorable Prophet Noble Drew Ali, it's good right there.